बिस्म इल्लाह अर्रहमान अर्रहीम। खुदा करे कि मेरी अर्ज़ पाक पर उतरे वो फसले गुल जिसे अंदेशा ज़वाल न हो। यहाँ जो फूल खिले वो खिला रहे सदियों, यहाँ खिज़ां को गुजरने की भी मजाल न हो। और खुदा करे कि मेरे हर एक हमवतन के लिए हयात जुर्म न हो, जिंदगी वबाल न हो। मुअज़्ज़ज़ ख़वातीन व हज़रात और मीट विद राना की रौनक प्यारे बच्चों, अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, आज का प्रोग्राम पैनल डिस्कशन है और पैनल डिस्कशन मीट विद राना का एक अहम सिलसिला है जिसमें बासलाहियत नौजवान बच्चे आते हैं और अपने ख्यालात का इजहार करते हैं। पैनल डिस्कशन बहुत अहम है। ये बिल्कुल इसी तरह है कि कहीं बहुत ज्यादा टेम्परेचर माइनस में हो, आपको ठंड लग रही हो और आपके सामने लकड़ियां भी जमा हो, लेकिन आप उन लकड़ियों से हरारत हासिल नहीं कर सकते, जबकि पत्थर आपके आसपास पड़े हुए हैं। लेकिन हरारत हासिल करने के लिए आपको उन लकड़ियों को जलाना होगा और उन लकड़ियों को जलाने के लिए एक स्पार्क की जरूरत होती है। उस स्पार्क के लिए पत्थर तो मौजूद हैं, लेकिन अगर उनको आप आपस में रगड़ेंगे नहीं तो वो स्पार्क पैदा नहीं होगा। यही पैनल डिस्कशन है कि बच्चों के अंदर बहुत सलाहियत होती है, लेकिन उन्हें कोशिश करना पड़ती है कि किसी टॉपिक पर आकर इजहार ख्याल करें। ये स्पार्क जिन नौजवानों के अंदर होता है वो अपने शोबों में बहुत कामयाबियां हासिल करते हैं। तो मेरी ख्वाहिश है कि जितने भी नौजवान आज का ये प्रोग्राम देखेंगे, उन्हें चाहिए कि वो पैनल डिस्कशन में हिस्सा लें और अपनी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स को डेवलप करें। आज के प्रोग्राम में बासलाहियत नौजवान तलबा आपके सामने इजहार ख्याल करेंगे ई लर्निंग चैलेंजेस, जो कि आजकल एक बहुत अहम टॉपिक है। और इस सिचुएशन में हम जिस सिचुएशन से गुजर रहे हैं उसके हवाले से ये टॉपिक बहुत अहमियत का हामिल है। आपके सामने इजहार ख्याल करेंगे तलबा और तालबात, लेकिन इससे पहले जितने लोग हमारा प्रोग्राम देख रहे हैं, मेरी आपसे गुजारिश है कि प्रोग्राम को लाइक भी कीजिए, शेयर भी कीजिए और कमेंट करना बिल्कुल ना भूलिए। तो आइए मैं आपका तारुफ कराता हूं आज के पैनलिस्ट से। बासलाहियत पाकिस्तानी तलबा और तालबात आज मेरे साथ मौजूद हैं। मैं इस्तकबाल करूंगा सबसे पहले खुजैमा अमजद का। खुजैमा, अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। मेरा नाम
थैंक
खुज़ैमा
यू।
अमजद है और मैं
आज के इस टॉपिक पर इंशाल्लाह हम आपकी गुफ्तगू सुनेंगे। हम आपको खुश आमदीद कहते हैं। खुजैमा, आपके साथ दूसरे पैनलिस्ट का भी मैं तारुफ करवा दूं तो उसके बाद इंशाल्लाह हम पैनल डिस्कशन शुरू करेंगे। आज की इस पैनल डिस्कशन में हमारी दूसरी मेहमान हैं अमसाल। हम खुश आमदीद कहते हैं। अमसाल, अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस टुडे। और आज के इस पैनल डिस्कशन में हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं अलीजा अहमद। अलीजा अहमद, अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू।
थैंक यू वेरी मच अलीजा अहमद। आज की इस पैनल डिस्कशन में आप हमारी मेहमान हैं और आज की पैनल डिस्कशन में आखिरी स्टूडेंट हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं अनफाल अनवर। अनफाल, अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू।
थैंक यू वेरी मच। आज आप लोग एक बहुत अहम टॉपिक पर पैनल डिस्कशन के लिए आए हैं, ई लर्निंग चैलेंजेस। इसमें कोई शक नहीं कि ई लर्निंग जो है वो इस वक्त बहुत ज्यादा इस्तेमाल भी हो रही है और मौजूदा सूरत हाल में आप लोग इस सफर से भी गुजर रहे हैं। सो दैट इज द राइट टॉपिक to discuss with Pakistani students and Pakistani youth. Let's see your comments, your observations, your thoughts about this topic. So, first of all, I want to invite खुजैमा अमजद से मैं गुजारिश करूंगा कि आज के टॉपिक के हवाले से अपने ख्यालात का इजहार करें। खुजैमा अमजद, जी खुजैमा।
ये आज का टॉपिक ई लर्निंग के बारे में मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि इसमें काफ़ी एडवांटेजेस और डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं। जैसे कि ऑनलाइन लर्निंग में आप सबको अकोमोडेट कर सकते हैं और जहाँ मर्जी आप हो वहाँ से आप क्लासेस ले सकते हैं, आपको फिज़िकली क्लास में नहीं जाना पड़ेगा और जितनी मर्जी दफ़ा लेक्चर्स आप रिपीट कर सकते हैं, बाद में आप सुन सकते हैं, रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं और आप हमेशा उसको याद याद रखने के लिए आप देख सकते हैं कि किस किस ने क्या क्या बोला था और क्या क्या डिस्कशंस हुई थी और उसमें हमेशा आप अपडेटेड रहते हो, इंस्टेंट एक्सेस होता है। You can see everything consistently or it also reduces the cost of physically going to the classroom and attending the class and it saves up time and it is very effective. काफ़ी लोग इसमें से काफ़ी कुछ सीख सकते हैं और काफ़ी चीज़ें लर्न कर सकते हैं मतलब जैसे कि आसान है और easy to reach and easy to access information.
सही। बहुत ज़बरदस्त खुज़ैमा अमजद आपने आज के टॉपिक के हवाले से बात की। हम अपनी डिस्कशन को जारी रखेंगे, इसके जो एडवांटेजेस हैं डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं इस पर हम बात करते रहेंगे और मैं दोबारा भी आपकी तरफ आऊँगा। लेकिन इसके बाद मैं जानना चाहूँगा अमसाल से कि अमसाल आज के टॉपिक के हवाले से आप हमें क्या बताना चाहती हैं। जी अमसाल।
Today for this topic, I'm going to talk about e-learning for education.
Okay, please.
First of First of all, I'm sure all of you know what e-learning is. So first, I'd like to talk about the evolution of education technology, which is like we went from writing on leaves to writing on paper to telephones to television to what's now the greatest impact to technology, the internet. So there's traditional and e-learning approaches. First, I'd like to talk about the classroom. In a traditional approach, there's like a physical, because you have to go there, there's a very limited size to what people can be there. Whereas in e-learning, it's unlimited and you can do it wherever you are, anytime, anywhere. And for content, in traditional, you need to go there, you need to like physically use textbooks, library, you need to physically collaborate. Whereas in e-learning, everything's online. There's a digital library, it's on demand. And you can communicate online whenever you want. Um, and in traditional, there's like only one learning path, and you need to do a pace which is suitable to the rest of the class so you won't interrupt them. But in e-learning, there's like you can determine your pace yourself. You can go as slow as you want, as fast as you want. It's all your choice. The benefits of e-learning is that it's cost effective. There's virtual learning environment, share lessons among schools, reduce material costs, reduce travel accommodation. You don't need to pay for bus fee. Everything can like happen at home. You don't need to pay for it spends less money. And another benefit is that it's consistent. There's central control of all content. And it's not that one person is getting better quality of content than some other. It's the same quality of content for all, and it's the same quality of education for everyone too. And another benefit is that it's media rich. It's easier to understand and more engaging because people are more engaged from like online than in traditional. It's like very hard in my opinion, it's harder to be physically there. And it's repeatable. You can replay it as many times as you want. It's all your choice. And it's easier to monitor progress. It's less administrative work, can be more precise. It's just easier online. And it's very important for the teacher's obligation. Teachers must be available to use all technology. They must encourage collaborative learning. They must lay a foundation for lifelong learning and incorporate to old and new. They don't just want to do old, they need to know how to use new stuff, and they need to be able to adapt to this as well as students for better education. The e-learning tools, one of them is online form. Teachers can create discussion groups. Teachers can post a question and request students to comment about it. Students can post their own comments, can encourage community participation. Collaborative learning can be fostered. It's very easy to learn on online forms since everyone can access it, and it's just easier than complicated and physical. Um, Another is the web. There's a wide range of materials available on the web. Teachers will need to narrow it down. It is a resource center. Everything's available on the web. And you can share resources very easily on the web. And it can be supported by images, audio, simulation, and multimedia. You won't just only have one thing to support you. And another e-learning tool is video conference. You can conduct a live lecture, you can communicate with students and with parents at the same time. It's very effective. And you can support by audio, chat, whiteboard. It's everything. Video conference is very easy to use. And you can support sharing of applications. Like students, if they want to share PowerPoints or their work, they can share and everyone can see it. And if students need it for later, they can record it and use it for later for on-demand lectures, that if they're ever confused about something, they can go back to the lecture. And while as you're physical, you can't go back in time to back to the lecture. And in conclusion of what I talked about, e-learning is a great opportunity for students as well as teachers. A wide range of solutions are available, and common problems can be solved very easily. Many students are more comfortable using PC, tablets, and other such devices, and they're more comfortable in their home than going there. Teachers can work more effectively. They don't need to figure out how to work there. They can know everything before time. Many students can participate at the same time. Like in physical, you need to wait if another student's participating. But if it's online, everyone can participate at the same time. And e-learning is just great. Thank you. That's it.
Very good and excellent presentation about e-learning. And I'm very happy to know that our students are very happy with e-learning, and same time they are missing their physical classes as well. Like Khuzaima mentioned very well about this topic, then Amsal covered very well about e-learning. Our next participant, Aleeza Ahmed, very good writer and uh, art lover, and plus she want to become as a uh, teacher, motivation, so many things. So we have today with us Aleeza Ahmed. I want to invite you to speak about the topic, Aleeza Ahmed. Ji Aleeza.
First of all, I want to thank the Meetwithrana platform for allowing me to express my thoughts upon this topic. So, e-learning is a very relevant topic. So, it's a very current situation because we're in the middle of a pandemic right now. I want to talk about kind of the difficulties that e-learning has, especially with my experience with it, along with probably many other students. So first, I want to talk about the teacher's perspective on it because I feel like they are not appreciated enough for all the hard work that they have to do to make sure that students' learning is continuously progressing. It's not like that they are stopped at a particular topic for like 1 or 2 weeks because of e-learning. Really, it's hard for teachers to know what the student is really doing because when we are at home we have the safety of being behind a screen. We have a curtain in front of us which blocks us from actually physically being with them. So for teachers, they don't know if the student is actually paying attention or if they are just playing on the computer. Because we can easily mute our mics during the lesson, we can mute our face cams. Teachers have no idea student actually कुछ पढ़ रहा है या शायद वो बस time waste कर रहा है. And I feel like it's a really missed opportunity for our students, because we have such a um, amazing opportunity for us, because we have unlimited resources, possibly more than we would have in a physical classroom, like Amsal has said. We have the internet at the touch of our fingertips. We have various textbooks which the school has given to us, and they are also in digital copies. So if students are more comfortable in a digital lifestyle, they have everything they need. And yet, we still waste time during our Zoom lessons. I hear people complaining all the time, hi hi, ek Zoom lesson, ek aur Zoom lesson, ek aur Zoom lesson.
Yeah.
And they don't pay attention during the class. They feel like they aren't learning anything. And while, yes, it might be a little bit harder to pay attention and focus during Zoom classes, we need to start treating it like it is our actual classes. Because the teachers are doing this for us. वो हमको सिखा रहे नहीं है for themselves. उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता if you get an A या if they get a D. उनको कुछ मतलब award नहीं मिलता. It is all for us. It matters to me अगर मुझे एक A और D मिला, क्योंकि my future is being affected by it. It's not, I don't care अगर मेरे classmates को शायद A और D मिला, मेरे लिए है, because this is my future and I need to take on the responsibility of it. So it's kind of sad, really, how much of a opportunity we are being given. We are given the comfort of our own homes. We are given the comfort of being behind a screen. We're given the comfort of being no uniform, matlab jo bhi kapde pehn lo. We have the comfort of having every resource humanly available right in front of us. And yet, why do we not use it? Why do we think we have everything we need to get the most highest grade we can possibly achieve? And yet we're going to waste it playing some games when you could be doing something valuable? Because in the long term, which is going to benefit you more? Playing games when you could be studying, or studying which is going to get you into a good university and inevitably a good job and a life? So I think because of how unbalanced it is, of students always thinking it's too much for me, I can't focus, and then there's teachers with a lot of work, because like I said, we have unlimited resources, but that doesn't mean that students aren't going to abuse those unlimited resources. Like if teacher ने बोला अच्छा इस topic के ऊपर ऐसे लिखो, I can bet you a lot of students Google करेंगे topic पे, find the nicest essay online, copy paste it and submit it. Now thankfully मेरे स्कूल में हर टीचर वो चेक करते हैं essays को to see if they are plagiarized online. And in fact, in some cases, when students do this, they can be kicked out of their course. But I don't know if this is the same for other schools. I know some schools, they don't have the time to check because they are dealing with almost like 5 to 10 classes, and then to have the willpower to go through every single 20 students' work for every single class, every single assignment. I understand that some schools will not have the willpower. So the teachers are giving us their trust. They are telling us, we trust you because we aren't capable of checking. So we're giving you the trust. We're trusting you to make sure that you're doing this originally. You're doing this by yourself. We're trusting you to take on your own learning and not rely on us, because teachers already have way too much on their hands. So once again, thank you, the Meetwithrana platform, for allowing me to speak up on this topic. And I would like to also say well done to Amsal and Khuzaima for speaking very well on this topic. And inshallah, by the end, Hanut or its topic for both.
Thank you very much, Aleeza Ahmed. Always you motivate your colleagues, you motivate your friends, and it is excellent. आपने जो बातें की वो बहुत अच्छी, कि वाकई अब स्टूडेंट्स के ऊपर भी जिम्मेदारी है, और वो इस जिम्मेदारी के साथ इसको लेकर चलें कि असातिज़ा का काम है आपकी हेल्प करना, मदद करना, लेकिन कभी ऐसे सरकमस्टांसेस आ जाते हैं कि जहां पर स्टूडेंट्स को भी अपनी जिम्मेदारी का सबूत देना चाहिए. वेरी वेल स्पोकन अबाउट द टॉपिक. थैंक यू अलीजा अहमद. अब मैं जाना चाहूंगा अनफाल की तरफ, एंड आई वांट टू आस्क अनफाल, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर यू, दैट हाउ कैन वी स्टडी effectively in online class?
So, due to the sudden coronavirus pandemic, we have not been able to go to school for around 6 months by now. Obviously, school is very important and cannot be missed out on just because of quarantine. So many students are doing online classes while some are doing blended learning. I am pretty sure a lot of students, like Aleeza said, can relate to the fact that online school is difficult. It is very different from our normal school atmosphere, and being at home creates some sort of sense of comfort, which doesn't help when studying. I will be telling you some ways in which you can stay focused on online school and study effectively.
I'm muted. So, thank you very much, Anfal, for answering my first question. My second question should be that how we can get used to online classes or online school.
The first thing you can do to get used to online school is understand the online learning practices and expectations. You need to first get familiar with whatever software or website your school is using for these online classes. For example, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Classroom, etc. You should also know the rules of online class so it doesn't end up in a scramble. You will also need to use other softwares such as Word and PowerPoint, so it really helps if you go over on how to do them beforehand. Another tip is that make sure you have reliable internet access. Many students have issues with their websites crashing, or there are problems displaying content, and such is mostly because of their internet connection. How you can avoid such problems is try to sit as near to your router device, internet device, try to sit as near to it as possible so you can avoid any technical problems that might come in the way of your studying. If the Wi-Fi itself is bad, no matter where you sit or what you do, consider getting another internet device, since you should prioritize this so you can get the most out of online school.
That's right. And what the issue is main in online classes and e-learning, which we are facing as a parents also, and maybe for some students as well, that how we can stay focused on studies, because situation and environment of class and school is different, and environment of e-learning is different. So how we can stay focused in e-learnings?
One thing I suggest you do is have a dedicated study space, a place where you will always study. Studying in a place which is distracting, such as your bedroom, because you relax there. That's basically where you stay to cool down, relax, or in a room with some kind of device such as a TV, or in a room with maybe small siblings that annoy you, it can really affect your study. Try to find a nice and quiet place which is secluded from anything that might potentially distract you and study there. Having study spaces like this can greatly improve your quality of work. Another tip I would like to give is wake up at the right time and be prepared. Wake up before your school starts and get yourself ready. Wash your face, brush your teeth, change your clothes, eat breakfast, other such things. If you wake up late, you may end up regretting it. Many students skip classes just to have an extra wink, but I don't think they realize how much it is affecting their actual study. This will help you freshen up and stay productive throughout the day. One more way you can stay focused on your task is to build a study plan. You should identify your objectives and goals for the day and use them to create some sort of study plan or a study schedule according to your actual school schedule as well, because you don't want any overlapping to happen in your schedules. Make sure the plan is flexible and will not burn you out, but enough to complete your work on time. Figure out how you learn best so you can implement that into your plan. You should also ask for help when you need it. Your teachers are there to help you in this difficult time. If you don't understand anything, do not hesitate to ask your teacher. They will clear your doubts. Sitting there quietly, not knowing what's going on, may not seem like a very big deal right there, but in the future it will definitely affect you. Other than that, you can also ask others for help, such as a classmate, your parents, your friends, older siblings, etc. This will help you to ace your online learning and also prevent any future incidents that might affect. You should also definitely take study breaks. Usually, school gives you breaks as well in between lessons. But when you get such breaks, don't just stay on the screen watching YouTube or I got a break, I'm going to watch Netflix. Get up, stretch your legs, walk around. Take a break from the screen because staring at a screen the whole day is very unhealthy for your eyes. And since you basically have to be doing that for 5 days a week,
Yep.
it's not exactly the best idea to just sit there and continue staring at the screen, as your eyes will be strained and it may damage your eyes. You also need to actively participate. If you just sit there blankly, not engaging in the ongoing lesson, maybe you're playing games, maybe you're just thinking of something and not paying attention, you will end up zoning out or getting bored and succumbing to your distractions, which means maybe you'll finally be like, oh, I feel bored. I can't focus enough. I'll go play a game now. I'll go on my phone now. Participation is necessary as it will keep you focused on the lesson and help you take in more information. Actively engaging will also tell the teacher that you are participating, so they will not have to go through the problem of finding out if you're actually there and listening, which a lot of teachers are facing right now, as it is difficult to tell whether a student is actually there and listening to you or not. Many students tend to just join the lesson and get up and do something else. They don't pay attention anymore. It's hard for the teacher when they do that. Answer and ask questions, talk to them, do the tasks. This will not only help you, but it will also really help the teacher and make it much easier for them. One very, very important point I would like to mention here is to eliminate your distractions. This is a very important point that can change your whole online experience. If there are any distractions lying around, such as tablet, phone, or video game, make sure to turn them off and put them away out of reach so you
Yep.
can focus on studying. Since you are probably using a computer, many websites can also distract you from working. Try to block those websites or practice self control by completely avoiding or not going on them. There are many ways you can manually block them. Many Chrome extensions or other softwares allow you to do this, or you can ignore them, which may prove to be more difficult. Either
Charging
way,
account.
distractions are your barrier to success. Eliminating them will mean eliminating most of the things stopping you. The last point I would like to give today is finish your work and don't procrastinate. Many students tend to only join the lesson and not actually finish the work. Teachers also give homework, which so many students do not complete. Don't be that student. Stay up to date with what's going on in the class, follow your assignments, and complete them. Do your homework and show the teacher that you have done it. In the end, this will determine your work ethic and also help you in the future. A lazy procrastinator gets nowhere in life. Stop being lazy, stop leaving it until tomorrow, and do it. Thank you.
Excellent. An excellent explanation about the topic, Anfal. Very well said. Almost you have covered all the points which is related to e-learning and what the student should consider. Excellent. I'm very happy to hear about this topic from Khuzaima, from Amsal, from Aleeza, from Anfal. This what I encourage all the students, whoever is watching our program, come and participate, express yourself. आप लोग जब आएंगे ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म पे टॉपिक्स पे बात करेंगे, इससे आपको बहुत फायदा होगा। जब आप अपनी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में जाएंगे, तब आपको एहसास होगा कि आपने किसी टॉपिक पर बात की थी, एक आपके अंदर कॉन्फिडेंस आता है। और यही मीट वैदराना का मकसद है कि नौजवानों को बुलाया जाए और मुख्तलिफ टॉपिक्स पर बात की जाए। बहुत अच्छा आपने इजहार ख्याल किया, लेकिन एक क्वेश्चन जो मैं आप सब लोगों से करना चाहता हूं, इसमें आप तमाम लोग पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हैं। हम बात करना चाहते हैं ट्रेडिशनल लर्निंग वर्सेस ऑनलाइन लर्निंग। हम साल ने प्रेजेंटेशन भी दी और बताया भी, लेकिन मैं चाहूंगा कि आप सब बच्चे पहले एक क्लासरूम में थे, अपने फ्रेंड से भी मिलते थे, एक माहौल था, टीचर्स के साथ इंटरेक्शन था, उसको और आज जो ई लर्निंग है, इसको आप एज ए स्टूडेंट कैसा महसूस करते हैं और इसके बारे में व्हाट यू आर फीलिंग अबाउट दैट? सो एनीवन वांट टू स्पीक अबाउट traditional learning versus online learning? जी, यस खुजैमा।
ऑनलाइन लर्निंग जो है वो ऑनलाइन होती है और ऑफलाइन लर्निंग में ट्रेडिशनल लर्निंग इंक्लूड होती है। जैसा आप ट्रेडिशनली क्लासरूम में फिजिकली जाके करते हो, उसमें आप डिसिप्लिन भी होना चाहिए और उसमें आपको मतलब टीचर की बात भी सुननी चाहिए और सबके हिसाब से जाना चाहिए। लेकिन ऑनलाइन में इट्स फ्लेक्सिबल एंड यू कैन structure your learning as you wish and pay more attention and you can do anything you want, but more importantly you should focus on the work you are doing. ट्रेडिशनल लर्निंग में आपको फिजिकली ज़्यादा होता है, उसकी कॉस्ट भी ज़्यादा होती है। जिस तरह ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में आपका टाइम ज़्यादा लग जाता है, आपको जल्दी उठना पड़ता है, जल्दी सारा कुछ करना पड़ता है। बट इन ऑनलाइन लर्निंग यू सेव अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम एंड यू कैन do anything you want with like there are online courses and you can have instant access. However, online में जो मसले आते हैं वो ये कि आपका इंटरनेट कनेक्शन अगर स्लो है तो आप डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाते हो, तो आप काफ़ी चीज़ें मिस आउट कर देते हो। But
صحیح
in offline, there is individual interaction with the teacher. Individually, آپ ہر کسی سے پوچھ سکتے ہو کہ کیا چل رہا ہے، کیا ہو رہا ہے، اور سمجھ آ رہی ہے. لیکن آن لائن میں آپ اسکرین کے پیچھے پھنسے ہو، اگر آپ نے کچھ پوچھنا ہے تو sometimes you feel nervous asking in front of everyone. But in traditional one, you can go and ask the teacher individually, like in break times or after school. And there's many more points on how you can talk to the teacher and interact and understand better. لیکن آن لائن میں ٹیچر کے لیے بھی مشکل ہوتا ہے کہ انہیں سمجھ نہیں آتی کہ کس طرح بچے کو سمجھ آ رہا ہے یا نہیں. ان کی جو اسیسمنٹس ہوتی ہیں وہ اگر آن لائن اسیسمنٹس ہیں تو ٹیچر کو پتہ نہیں چلتا کہ وہ گوگل سے دیکھ کے ساری اسیسمنٹس کر رہے ہیں، کاپی پیسٹ کر رہے ہیں یا دوسروں سے پوچھ رہے ہیں. لیکن ٹریڈیشنل میں یہ اچھی بات ہے کہ آپ کے سامنے اسٹوڈنٹ ہوتا ہے اور آپ ہر چیز ان سے پوچھ سکتے ہیں، دیکھ سکتے ہیں، اور آپ ان سے پوچھ سکتے ہیں اور آپ کو پتہ چلتا ہے کہ وہ چیٹنگ کر رہے ہیں یا نہیں کر رہے ہیں. لیکن ٹریڈیشنل میں یہ سب چیزیں آپ کے لیے نہیں اویلیبل ہوتی ہیں، اور ٹیچر کے لیے بھی مشکل ہوتا ہے آن لائن کہ اگر وہ ایسے ہی اپنے آپ سے بات کر رہی ہیں، سارے اسٹوڈنٹس اٹینشن کر رہے ہیں، تو اسی کے لیے انہیں اس چیز سے بچنے کے لیے انہیں کوشچنس پوچھنے چاہیے، اسائنمنٹس دینی چاہیے. لیکن زیادہ بھی اسائنمنٹس نہ دیں کہ اسٹوڈنٹس ہر وقت پریشان ہوئے اور ہر وقت ان کے دماغ میں پورا دن یہی چلتا رہا کہ یہ اسائنمنٹ میں نے سبمٹ کرانی ہے اس ٹائم پہ، تو وہ زیادہ انگزائٹی یا زیادہ پریشان نہ ہوں اس کی وجہ سے. تو ٹیچرز کو یہ بھی دیکھنا چاہیے کہ آسان اسائنمنٹس دیں لیکن کمپلیٹ ہونی چاہیے، اور انہیں ٹارگیٹ سیٹ کرنا
صحیح
چاہیے کہ اتنا ٹارگیٹ آپ کو کمپلیٹ کرنا ضروری ہے اور آپ کو اس سے پہنچنا چاہیے، یہ آپ کے لیے فیوچر کے لیے اچھا ہے. اور اسٹوڈنٹس کو بھی یہ سمجھنا چاہیے کہ یہ ان کے لیے امپورٹنٹ ہے اور انہیں یہ سب کرنا چاہیے. تھینک یو.
بھائی بہت بہت زبردست کمپیریزن آپ نے کیا ہے خزیمہ امجد. اور بالکل جو انوائرمنٹ ہے وہ ٹوٹلی ڈفرینٹ ہوتا ہے ٹریڈیشنل لرننگ کا اور ای لرننگ کا. اور ظاہر ہے دونوں میں کچھ فائدے ہیں، کچھ نقصان ہیں، لیکن ہمیں وقت کے ساتھ جو ہے وہ چلنا پڑتا ہے. آپ نے بہترین کمپیریزن جو ہے وہ پریزنٹ کیا. تھینک یو ویری مچ. یس علیزہ احمد، انمیوٹ کیجئے اپنے آپ کو علیزہ. جی
جیسے خزیمہ نے بولا ہے اور انکل رانا نے بھی بولا ہے کہ وہ انوائرمنٹ بہت چینج ہوئی ہے
یس
میرے لیے.
کریکٹ.
اٹ واز اے ویری بگ ٹول آن می to all of a sudden go from a physical classroom to a online learning. I think the point that Anfal made is that about sitting in your bedroom where you will feel comfort will not help you with your studies is very much relatable to me. Like اگر میں اپنے بیڈ پہ پڑھائی کوشش کرنا چاہتی ہوں نا، مجھے بالکل بھی نہیں ہو سکتا کیونکہ مجھے بس
کریکٹ.
وہ فون اٹھانا ہے اور اس کے اوپر پہ وہ دوست کے ساتھ باتیں کرنی ہو.
صحیح
تو ہر
صحیح.
وقت اپنے ٹیبل پہ وہ میں اچھی طرح سے وہ ٹیکسٹ بک لے کے پینسل پیپر لے کے میں اسٹارٹ کر دیتی ہوں کام. مجھے لگتا ہے کہ وہ جو مجھے شاید ہی ڈفرینٹ لوگوں کے لیے، لیکن ہمارے اسکول میں جو میرا ایکسپیرئنس ہے کہ کبھی کبھی وہ جو ورک لوڈ جو ہمارا ہوتا ہے نا وہ بہت ڈفرینٹ ہوتا ہے فرام کلاس ٹو کلاس. ایک دو میری کلاسز وہ بہت زیادہ مجھے کام دیتے ہیں، مجھے ایک دو دن میں مجھے کام کرنا پڑتا ہے پھر ہی ختم ہو جاتا ہے. اور تھوڑے
صحیح
سے کلاسز تھوڑا سا دیتے ہیں، مطلب 10 منٹس میں میرا کام ختم ہو جاتا ہے. So there is a lot of unbalance on the workload that students are facing. شاید یہ صرف میرے لیے ہے، شاید یہ other people have also seen it. I think in traditional learning, like Khuzaima has said, you can physically interact with the teacher. You can ask them, Miss Sir, مجھے یہ سمجھ میں نہیں آ رہا، آپ مجھے وہ بریک ٹائم میں ایکسپلین کر سکتے ہیں. تو I personally prefer the traditional learning classroom over learning because I don't like looking at a screen for large periods of time. And especially when information is being thrown at me, it's like my brain cannot comprehend all
صحیح
of that. So I find it
صحیح.
easiest मैं स्कूल में नोट्स में लेकर जाती हूँ, every once in a while मैं question ask कर सकती हूँ. So in my experience, I find the traditional classroom learning easier.
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, एक्सीलेंट, थैंक यू वेरी मच अलीजा अहमद। बहुत जबरदस्त पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू आपने दिया हमारे देखने वालों को भी। ये है सलाहियत जो बच्चों के अंदर होनी चाहिए कि उन्होंने देखे पूरे टॉपिक को भी कवर किया है, अपनी थॉट भी दी है। और ये आसान नहीं है ख्वातीन हजरात कि एक टॉपिक बच्चों को दिया जाए और उसके ऊपर बोलने के लिए कहा जाए। खुजैमा अमजद ने माशाल्लाह बहुत अच्छी बात की, उसके बाद अलीजा अहमद ने बहुत अच्छी बात की। अब मैं चाहूंगा अमसाल की तरफ जाना और अमसाल से पूछना चाहूंगा कि व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट ट्रेडिशनल लर्निंग वर्सेस ऑनलाइन लर्निंग?
Um, I feel like there's a big difference between traditional and online learning, but in traditional learning, like I said, that it's more one time, whereas online learning is on demand. Like, oh, if you missed, for example, a lecture, you can like tell a friend to get a recording of it, and it's easier online
Yeah,
because if you think you won't remember anything what the teacher is teaching, you can just record it and use it for later, and it's more on demand
yeah,
than traditional learning, because in traditional learning you just have to be there and you can't exactly go back in time back to your class when the teacher was explaining about it, but in online, like I said, you have it all when you need it, and it's more flexible, that because in traditional you need to like go there and you need to have a specific time you need to go there, and again you need to be there. Whereas in online, you can literally be in your car and be doing your online lesson because you don't need to be there. And that's it.
thank you, and you have given very good presentation and comparison about traditional learning and online e-learning. So Anfal, do you want to give your thoughts on this? Yes.
Traditional and online school are actually very different from each other. Like Amsal said, some comparisons I'd like to do are online learning can be at a flexible pace. For example, if you like to learn slowly, but your teacher is going fast, you can actually maybe go back to the recording of the lesson and listen to it again. You can go at your own speed, you can do the work at your own speed. While in a traditional classroom, it would be a specific pace, and you would be forced to work in that time limit and that time limit only. Another thing is that online learning can happen anywhere, whether you be in your room, whether you be on a plane, whether you be anywhere, you can still do online school, while traditional school needs to happen at a specific place, in a specific classroom and stuff. Another thing online Another thing I like about online school is that it supports an independent learning style. Online school encourages you to learn by yourself, and you don't have any colleagues with you around, so you have to completely be dependent on yourself, which really helps you see how good you can be when you're independent, and it also helps you improve that skill. But there is also a downside to that, because being in a traditional classroom, talking to others would be good collaboration. You could improve your communication skills, but in online school, you can't really do that. There's limited interaction. Personally, I would prefer traditional classroom, because traditional classroom has some kind of atmosphere to it, which really makes me focus on what I'm doing. While in my home, I feel very relaxed and not very willing to do work, because it's my home. That's where I relax. That's where I have fun. And doing such classes at home isn't really the best idea, because it doesn't help me focus. So I think a traditional classroom is better for not only me, but for other people as well, such as teachers who might have an issue seeing if students can pay attention, if students are paying attention, if they're playing games, if they are cheating, while in traditional classroom you can't do any of that. So it's easier for teachers, it's easier for me, and I think it's easier for a lot of other students as well. So
Excellent. Uh, at the end, I want to ask one more question because you students are in e-learning. कोई ऐसी स्टोरी, कोई ऐसा वाकया, कोई ऐसी कहानी, कोई ऐसी बात आप शेयर करना चाहेंगे? Any incident you faced during e-learning, interesting things happened, you know. So anyone want to share anything with others related to e-learning?
a lot of the times, sometimes, in online school, students can control the meeting as well. So a lot of times it has happened that students get control of the meeting and they kick the teacher out,
Uh-huh.
and it's just the class left, and the teacher doesn't really know what to do because they're not really much as experienced as students are. So it
Yes.
just ends up being a whole mess. Also, there's been many incidents of people leaving their mics on, and it's very embarrassing because they just end up saying a lot of things with their mic on, and it's not exactly very nice.
पार्टिकुलरली आप क्लास ले रहे होते हैं और पीछे छोटा भाई या छोटी बहन जो है वो खेलती हुई आती है और एकदम जो है आपको हक कर लेती है, और इसी तरह से टीचर्स जो हैं वो जब क्लास ले रहे होते हैं तो सम फनी थिंग्स हैपन विद देम आल्सो, राइट? सो ई लर्निंग में क्योंकि माहौल कुछ ऐसा होता है, तो खुजैमा कभी आपने ऐसी चीज ऑब्जर्व की कि कोई फ्रेंड्स जो हैं वो कुछ कर रहे हों ई लर्निंग में और ऐसे महसूस हो गया हो?
जी, काफ़ी चीज़ें हो जाती हैं, कुछ फ़नी भी होती हैं, कुछ एम्बैरसिंग भी होती हैं। जिस तरह अगर आप
सही।
किसी से बात कर रहे हो और आपका माइक अनम्यूट रह गया और आप कोई फ़नी बात कर रहे हो या टीचर के बारे में, जिस तरह कोई स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं कि एक स्क्रीन पे वो टीचर से बात कर रहे हैं, दूसरी स्क्रीन पे अपने दोस्तों के साथ अपनी एक बात कर रहे हैं। तो
सही।
कभी-कभार
सही।
टीचर कोई क्वेश्चन पूछे, तो वो उसका आंसर देने के बाद वो म्यूट करना भूल जाते हैं, तो जब अपने दोस्तों से दूसरी स्क्रीन पे बात कर रहे होते हैं, तो वो सारी चीज़ें आ रही होती हैं, तो सब सुन रहे होते हैं, टीचर भी हँसते हैं और फिर इसी तरह कुछ चीज़ें फ़नी भी होती हैं और फिर टीचर भी कहती हैं कि आप हमारे बारे में क्या बातें कर रहे थे और क्या कर रहे
सही।
थे, कंसंट्रेट करें क्लास पे और आप फोकस करें। तो फिर इसी तरह से टीचर फिर उनसे और ज़्यादा क्वेश्चंस पूछती हैं कि वो और एंगेज हों और ज़्यादा आंसर्स दें। लेकिन
सही।
बस यही फ़नी चीज़ जो हुई थी
हो जाता है, हो
ड्यूरिंग
जाता है,
ऑनलाइन
क्योंकि
क्लास।
क्योंकि ई लर्निंग है, घर का माहौल है, तो वो ऐसे हो जाता है। बाज़-औक़ात जो है वो बच्चे क्लासरूम में तो कुछ खा नहीं सकते, लेकिन घर में जो है वो किचन में गए और
जी,
कुछ ले आए और साथ में खा भी रहे हैं, पढ़ भी रहे हैं। सो यू गाइस आर एंजॉयिंग ई लर्निंग, राइट? Yes, good. Thank you very
यस।
much. An excellent topic, an excellent discussion. बहुत से लोगों ने आपको सराहा है, आपकी तारीफ की है कि बच्चों ने बहुत जबरदस्त टॉपिक के ऊपर बात की और इट वाज एन एक्सीलेंट डिस्कशन। मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई है कि माशाल्लाह हमारे नौजवान इस तरह से प्लेटफॉर्म पे आते हैं और आके गुफ्तगू करते हैं। मैं चाहता हूँ कि और भी नौजवान आए और मुख्तलिफ मौज़ूआत पर हमारे साथ आके गुफ्तगू करें, अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू शेयर करें। इससे एक तो आपको एक्सप्रेस करना आता है, और ये जो कम्युनिकेशन स्किल है ना, इट्स वेरी यूजफुल स्किल। ये जब आप प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में जाएंगे तब आपको अंदाजा होगा कि इसने आपको कितना हेल्प किया। मैं आपका खुजैमा अमजद, अमसाल, अनफाल और पार्टिकुलरली अलीजा अहमद, माशाल्लाह आप सब अच्छी स्टडीज क्लासेस में हैं और मुझे पता है कि आपके ऊपर स्टडी का भी बहुत ज्यादा बर्डन है, लेकिन उम्मीद है कि इस प्रोग्राम को आपने एंजॉय किया होगा और थोड़ा सा रिलैक्स भी महसूस कर रहे होंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच अगेन फॉर पार्टिसिपेशन। आपके पेरेंट्स का भी बहुत शुक्रिया اور آپ کا بھی بہت شکریہ، اور میرے تمام دیکھنے والوں کا بھی بہت شکریہ۔ اس دعا کے ساتھ آج کے پروگرام کو ختم کرتے ہیں کہ خدا کرے کہ میری عرض پاک پر اترے وہ فصل گل جسے اندیشہ زوال نہ ہو، یہاں جو پھول کھلے وہ کھلا رہے صدیوں، یہاں خزاں کو گزرنے کی بھی مجال نہ ہو۔